This is a Zair, a unique move that's used by pressing the grab button that's exclusive to 7 characters in the roster. That's not a lot. You have laser, 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 chain, carpal tunnel, and a plunger. And contrary to mildly popular belief, this plunger is Luigi's best move, not down throw.
Faced with the Big Ape's forward throw, Luigi likewise gets down throw for his best move choice.
Luigi will be the first character in this series whose best move is a throw. Down throw, debatably the best combo down throw in the game.
Don't get me wrong, down throw is a great move. It's the best down throw in the game. There aren't many characters that would prefer their own down throw over Luigi's. With the insane value Luigi gets from down throw, it's easy to see why some would think that's his best move. 0 to deaths, consistent high damage, and lots of kill confirms is definitely nothing to scoff at. But at the end of the day, it's still only a combo starter. A very good one, his best, but still just a combo starter. Something Luigi has in spades. Hell, he can touch of death off of like 5 different moves. Look, here's your combo right now. Look at this, look at this. There's also the fact that down throw is still stuck to a 14 frame grab, which really sucks. Most of these Zairs are often used as a mid-range pressure tool due to the space it covers directly in front of them. Luigi's can sort of do this as well, but not really. The range compared to other Zairs is lacking, and Luigi's terrible airspeed doesn't really help cover it much more space either. It does have some niche uses when edge guarding and ledge trapping, but overall the move just kinda sucks. Okay, but seriously, it's actually not that good. Like grab, it has 14 frames of startup and it has too much end lag to just throw out in neutral reliably. The part where it becomes his best move is because of a trait unique to Luigi's Zair. It's ground. Every other Zair when landing on the ground, the hitbox gets nullified, just like most aerials. Except the ones with a landing hitbox, those are broken. Luigi's grounded Zair kind of functions as a different move entirely. If you land on the ground anywhere before frame 14 of the aerial version of Zair, it turns into the much superior ground. Instead, only having 6 frames of startup and much less end lag. These 6 frames of startup only come into effect when you actually land on the ground though, which means that the actual startup of the move can range from as much as 19 frames to a measly 7 depending on how long you were in the air before landing. But either way, as long as you land on the ground in those 13 frames before the move comes out, means you get the benefit of a huge amount of end lag being shaven off. First actionable frame. That is the first frame you can act after using a move. Pretty self-explanatory. The aerial version of Zair has a first actionable frame of 53. With the move itself having 52 total frames, it means you can start doing something else on the 53rd frame. However, a perfectly spaced grounded Zair, so with 7 frames of startup, has a first actionable frame of 22. More than a 50% decrease. Fun fact, you will still go through the grounded Zair animation even if you have already shot the plunger in the air, and provided that Luigi is still holding the poltergust which disappears on frame 48. Meaning that in a worst case scenario you can perform a Zair with 47 aerial frames and 20 grounded frames, making the first actionable frame 68. Which means it's just barely impossible to punish Luigi's Zair with Warlock Punch given all the correct spacing and timing. Unlucky. Provided even if there was enough time, the Luigi player would still need to go brain dead midway through the animation to not just move out of the way. And up tilt works though. Worthless hyper-specific matchup knowledge aside, assuming you space Zair close to the ground makes it not only potentially the best Zair in the game, but Luigi's best move as well. This lets it become a reasonably fast, spammable, safe projectile with little end lag that functions insanely well as a landing option. Unless your opponent is directly under you, then you should probably do something else, like air dodge.
You cannot air dodge there.
But quite often it is worth using as a landing option as it protects you from grounded burst options and a good amount of projectiles. And the risk reward of using Zair makes it very much worth spamming. And by spamming, I really do mean spamming. Look at any high level Luigi set and count how often this move gets used. But when you look at the versatility of it, it just makes sense. Projectiles with low end lag and middling speed in this game generally function really well as a combo tool, and Luigi's Zair is no exception. It's probably one of his top 3 combo starters. Zair into grab, Zair into dash attack, Zair into up tilt, into up B. All true combos from a safe, spammable projectile. Hell, it doesn't even need to hit for you to be able to get value out of it. Just by flanking with grounded moves, Zair can often lead into a free punish. It doesn't do a lot of damage, so a lot of attacks can straight up beat it instead of merely flanking with it. But in the neutral, generally people use fast, weaker attacks, which Zair is perfect against. And when you do manage to clank a move with Zair, there is so much room to punish. Often even more than when you would actually hit someone with a move, with the added benefit of your opponent not being sent away because of the knockback. You have so much frame advantage, your opponent might as well drop the controller. Sometimes the frame advantage is so huge you could even up B. I never do that though, I'm way too scared of missing the up B and dying. If you want to use Zair in the most brain-dead, lame, boring way possible against other people, do short hop, into fireball, into Zair, and then do that about 100 times. Sometimes use Fair instead of fireball, throw in the occasional burst option, and you have the neutral of a top level Luigi. And if they run into any of the approximately 100 Zairs you can use throughout a match. Unfortunately, some characters don't really care about Fireball Zair, and that's really Zair's only weakness. Even with it covering a good amount of space, some characters have the tools to deal consistently with it. And if Zair can't deal with a character's range, then nothing else in Luigi's moveset really can either, because he fucking sucks. But speaking of brain dead, due to its low end lag, Zair can also be used to constantly have a projectile lingering at the ledge, which can be comboed out of for a reasonably low risk edge guarding. It also works even better with walls, something to take into consideration when playing against Luigi. Despite this though, I wouldn't even call it a top 5 brain dead edge guarding tool, but it's up there. Another cool part of this move is that it isn't even really a projectile. And not in the same way that Joker's gun isn't a projectile either, where apparently the bullet is by some miracle still connected to Joker. Well, it sort of is a projectile. When fired, it's clearly detached from Luigi in every single way. But actually looking at the game itself, it says Zair is not a projectile. And I don't know how. How is this not a projectile? Look at it! Originally this part was going to be more about how the game doesn't call Zair a projectile and me calling Zair special because of that. But then I found out that Isabelle's forward air and back air aren't called projectiles in the post-match screen either. And then I thought, oh, that probably means a move can only be considered in one category at a time. That's kind of stupid, but okay. But then I found out that Villager's forward air and back air are considered both projectiles and air attacks. Which is like, what? These are the same fucking moves. Literally. They even do the same amount of damage and knockback, I think. How does this even work? I don't know. Regardless, all of those moves can get reflected. And Luigi's Zair can't, because it just does not care. This mechanic is also actually a disadvantage against Joker's counter, because instead of getting a very weak projectile sent back at you, he just bullshits you even harder. Anyway, let's compare. Down throw. Yeah, remember when this video was about down throw for like 2 seconds? Amazing combo starter. Okay, that's it. Zair, amazing combo starter, one that rivals down throw. A neutral tool that helps against disjoints and projectiles, a landing option, a really good move for ledge trapping, and a low risk edge guarding tool. Down throw is an amazing move, yes, like I said, the best down throw in the game. But putting it side by side, it's just overwhelmingly clear that Luigi's best move is forward tilt. Forward tilt is Luigi's best move. Let's go!